Hello, everybody. So today I'm interviewing the author Tom Loughrey about his upcoming book, Giving Up's Hard When You're Only Three. To begin with, just please tell me about yourself, Tom, to get to know you a little bit.
My name is Tom Loughrey. I'm 40 years old. I live in Ballyglunin with my wife Anne Marie and our two little girls, Lauren and Holly. And yeah, I suppose, just put pen to paper on a little children's book recently that we're hoping will help some people with that big task of getting their children off the dodie.
Yeah, so how did you come to write books?
I suppose I always liked English at school. It was probably one of my stronger subjects, but I suppose since we had children, I found myself starting to, sing little songs and poems to them. And more often than not, I found that they had some rhythm or a little bit of rhyme. And then when we got the girls off the dodies in our house in the way that we did, I just felt that there was a story in it. And yeah, here we are.
Hmm. So yeah, you already mentioned it a little bit. So what is the book about?
So the book really and truly is about this little character called Frankie the Fairy, who comes and helps a little girl called Lucy to give up the dodie that she's so reliant on. And I suppose it really is based on a situation that we had in our own house here. We were struggling to find ways to get our eldest daughter off the dodie, and she was approaching her 4th birthday. And, she was, I suppose, first grandchild on both sides. She was really spoiled, and we kept kind of kicking the can down the road, but we knew eventually we kind of had to do something. So I was lucky. A very good friend of mine, Barry, gave us two beautiful teddy bears boxed. And I just said to Anne-Marie that, this has to be our way of getting the girls off these dodies for once and for all. So I got a little fairy type elf character, and I put them sitting on the box and made a little video about how Frankie was here to take the dodies in place of these beautiful teddy bears, and that they were big girls now and that the little babies needed the dodies. And we were just shocked, really, and stunned that when the girls saw the video, their little jaws dropped and they were amazed by who this character was. And after that, there was genuinely no resistance. Anytime they mentioned the dodie after that, we just reminded them that Frankie had come to take it, and that here was the beautiful teddies they had in its place. And we were just surprised with how well it worked, So I just thought maybe there's something in it to help other people.
Yeah, that's really good to have something for parents that they can work with, right?
Yeah,
Um,
so like it can be, traumatic for the child to give up something like that, and it's distressing for parents worrying about making the change. But I suppose in this situation, it's kind of giving the child control that, you're not losing the dodie, you're actually gaining this new teddy bear or doll or whatever the case may be, and that it's a replacement instead of just asking the child at that age to give up something they love and have nothing almost to replace it with. So that worked, and whether it was psychological or something else, it paid off.
right, yeah, that's very good. So how long did it take you to write this book?
Um, Not that long, I guess. A couple of weeks probably. I started putting paragraphs together and making the rhyme work, and I had to do some, I suppose, reorganization of verses that may have been in the wrong order and stuff like that. But it didn't take that long, to be perfectly honest. And there was very little change to be made then when we got to that stage with Marguerite and the team in Tribes Press.
Yeah, I was about to ask about the rhyme because I noticed throughout the book that the lines rhyme. Was it really difficult for you to keep the rhyme?
Yeah, it genuinely it wasn't, and I suppose that takes me back to what I said earlier about the little songs that I've been singing to the girls, that they just more often than not they tended to have a rhyme, and it's just fell into place, which was good. And
Mhm.
I wasn't sitting there scratching my head trying to wonder what the next word would be. It just seemed to appear for me, so I was lucky.
That's really good, yeah. So as your book is also a picture book, it has lots of illustrations, very beautiful illustrations, and very appealing to the children and basically everyone who's reading it. Were you happy with the illustrations? Was it like you imagined them to be?
Yeah, I was genuinely blown away, and anybody like my close family and my wife that I showed the initial drafts to were as well. I mean, Fabrice Matre just did an amazing job. He just captured the essence of the story really, really well, and everything from the character design to the colors that he used just has a really warm, cozy feel that I think everyone will really enjoy.
Hmm. And especially Frankie the Fairy, was the illustration how you imagined Frankie the Fairy to be?
Yeah, it genuinely was, because that little video that I made for the girls, the fairy that I used was, little green costume, light green pants, little boots, kind of almost like a Peter Pan type. And that was pretty much what Fabrice had presented to me without any suggestion or input from me. So he really was on the same wavelength as me, which was great.
That's amazing, yeah. So
Yeah.
as we were talking about the illustrations already, how did you find working with Tribespress in general?
Yeah, yeah, I mean, amazing. The publishing house is local to me. I'm from Galway. Tribes Press is based in Galway. Marguerite and everybody I've dealt with have been unbelievably straightforward to work with and made it a great experience for me. It's my first time doing this. I'm complete amateur, complete unknown at it, but I was guided step by step every way through the process, and it couldn't have been made any easier for me, really. So I'm delighted to be working with them.
Yeah, I'm really happy to hear that. Um, so again, back to the book. Why did you write this book? Who will benefit from the book the most?
I think parents in a similar situation to Anne-Marie and myself when we went to tackle this issue, really. So, depending on your child's age or whatever stage you want to get them away from this aid. So it could be 2 years of age, 3 years of age, or gone beyond that age where you're really stressing about how to I suppose, get the child off the dodie because they're advancing towards primary school age or whatever the case may be. I think parents of kids that age, or grandparents or aunts and uncles, and I guess read the story to the child and try and present them with an alternative to the dodie, give them ownership of the decision, make it feel like they are the ones making the call, that they're giving it up and they're not being forced to. And I think you could be surprised with, how straightforward it is, because, children are they will get away with stuff like this for as long as they possibly can, but they also like to show you that they're older and more mature than they are. And, I think if you can give
Right.
them the control, they might well surprise you. So I'd be interested to see how people get on. Hopefully they're as lucky as we were.
Yeah, yeah, that would be great. So who should definitely buy this book?
Oh, everybody. Yeah. um, as I said, parents of kids that age, grandparents, aunties, uncles, godparents, even Montessori's, child minders, that type of thing. It'd be a lovely book to add to any that they already have for children of that age. And as you say, the story rhymes, there's beautiful illustrations. So it doesn't necessarily have to be for a child that's looking to give up a dodie, but I think in general, most people will hopefully enjoy the story and the pictures.
Yeah, right. So basically everybody who's in the child's life would benefit
Yeah,
from having this book, right? Yeah.
yeah, I think so. I think so. Yeah,
Mhm.
and as I say, I hope that people will get some benefit from it, and if nothing else, just enjoy the story.
Yeah, yeah, right. So are you going to write more books, more children's books, or more picture books?
Yeah, so I already have a few others written and some in train. I'll be hoping that, if this goes well and if people like my writing, that there will be others to follow in due course, but we'll take it one step at a time.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that then.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
So is there anything you would like to add in the end regarding the book, or anything else you would want to say?
I don't think so. I just hope that if people choose to support me and buy the book, that those who are buying it for the purpose of getting their child to give up the dodie, or some other habit, that it is actually helpful to them. and otherwise just that they enjoy the story and the pictures, and that it's something nice that they can add to their collection, you know.
Very good. Yeah. Thank you, Tom, very much for doing this interview with me. I appreciate you taking the time. It was a pleasure.
You're welcome. Thanks so much. It was great to talk with you.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Thanks, Teresa. Bye.